courtyard out here. I'm sure you can see this from the Queen's Chamber. Charles V was Charles I, the Holy Roman Emperor, the grandson of Ferdinand and Isabella, son of Maximilian of Austria.
2 years after Charles V had left in 1528, everybody was expecting the return of the Emperor, and they built.
This is Renaissance.
With no decoration on the wall, you see. They like hanging in tapestries, Flemish tapestries. Charles V was born from Flanders, in Belgium. He spoke French.
They would have had tapestries on the walls.
A lot.
Washington Irving lived here.
Writing a book that made the Alhambra very famous. He then became a U.S. ambassador to Spain later, 1842, 1846.
This is the Moorish quarter of Granada from the Middle Ages.
Yes.
And there's the remains of the city walls, built about the same time as the Alhambra. Century courtyard built by the Christians.
Original colors, modern, taken from other parts of Alhambra. We don't know where exactly from. But they reused them later in the 16th century. Nice, very big ones, very thick, white marble columns, and you can see that all of them have the lead design that I was talking about.
Eagles and lions, but they were decorative. Fifth commissioned this palace, but he never lived in it, and nobody's ever lived in it. Outside it's square, and inside, evidently, it's round. This is the courtyard inside Charles V's palace. It's Italian style. 64 Doric columns and 32 Ionic columns. They have classic music concerts out here with beautiful acoustics. They start about 10:30 and go to midnight because it's cooler. They put 1,000 chairs out here and a stage in the middle. Pudding stone, and it's quarried just like this. Franciscan monastery, now it's a parador, 350 euros per night. No breakfast. This looks like Roman ruins. Oh, the Alhambra was a small town. There were 1,000 people who lived here, and some of them lived here. Judas tree. Oh, it's a variety of acacia. And they say that Judas hung himself from a tree like this in Jerusalem. Myrtle here, that it's all nice and green. And of course this is cypress, planted in the 1930s. Walking for quite a ways, and we're still seeing foundations from artisans as well as nobles near the palace. The Alhambra had 4 gates, and this is when we are going out to go to the gardens by an aqueduct.
Aqueduct. We use it, and we need it. We don't drink it. We don't drink that water now. But that's the drinking water they had in those days. So if somebody could destroy it, they could cut the water off. The Alhambra would be in serious problems.
This is the aqueduct that brings the water in for the gardens, even today. The walls are 1.5 miles long on the Alhambra, and there's 32 towers. There's a field of artichokes. The horse chestnut tree is called a buckeye tree in America. It's a snowball. Obvious how it got that view of the Alhambra from the Generalife Gardens. What a pretty iris. Where you would have come in and got off your horse. It was a dismounting area. This is just beautiful. What a gorgeous garden. These are the gardens of Eden, or gardens of paradise. The Alhambra, and you can see some of the gardens on the other side. And down here there's a huge line to get past the guard post. This would be nice on a hot summer day. Arbor is made out of oleander, which is poisonous. My guess is a peony, but that sure is a great big one. Is it a peony?
I don't know what it is.
Yellow one. The leaves look a little different than my peony, but of the aqueduct coming down from the mountain. Used for irrigation today. Afternoon, the sun has not come out. Now we're taking a walk down into the city.
Just hop a little.
Water that comes from the mountains, it's working its way down to the river in the middle of the city. Water is really rushing down this steep hill. Well, here's one of the gates to the palace, Major Square. Isabella Square. This is showing Queen Isabella and Christopher Columbus. Walking down the street with the beautiful balconies. Hams have been cured in Spain for centuries. Even before Roman times, hams were being salted and preserved. Walk into any good tapas bar in Spain and you're likely to see hams hanging high from the ceilings or proudly displayed on stands. Square with lots of balloons for kids. Procession will come up the street to the cathedral, and here's seating. My guess is this is the front of the cathedral. Well, maybe not, but it's certainly part of the Renaissance cathedral. Side door, very ornately carved. Wow, keep going up there, there's even more carvings. And it goes higher with no more statues. This cathedral was built between 1518 and 1561 after Granada was reconquered from the Moors. It was built atop the city's main mosque. The style is mainly Renaissance with some Baroque touches added in the mid-1600s. 3/4 of this coat of arms is that of Queen Isabella of Castile from 1474 to 1492. The upper right-hand quarter, however, appears to be religious as well as the angels at the bottom. Absolutely mobs of people heading for the procession. Restaurante Carmen de San Miguel was a short walk from our hotel, and it's one of the best restaurants in the area for Andalusian cuisine. that also features some of the best views of the city of Granada.